on social media, you realize that Kyle is recently married. How'd that go? So it's a lot of planning. What do you do? Just shake your head, yes, that sounds good? What do you do in that regard?
I did a little bit, but not as much of a headache for me as it was for her mom. But everything went pretty smoothly, and it was a great time.
And the girl you married, you knew from high school, right?
Yeah, I mean, we knew each other like senior year, but we didn't start, going out or anything until like 2 years after. So I was already doing ball with the Astros at the time. She was at college, so it's been a little while, but it's all good.
Does anything change as a baseball player? There's a lot that goes on, a lot of preparation, everything. Does anything change at all? Do you think as a married guy, or is somebody who has their first child, or anything like that? Do you think it gets easier, tougher, or things change at all?
Easier, she's the boss.
I don't know. I mean, we have a pretty good relationship. It's pretty much. I mean, we've kind of already basically been married for a while, so we kind of know each other and everything's pretty smoothly. So pretty much everything's the same. I told her that too. I was like, we're still gonna be hanging out together and doing things regardless. So, we're just like technically officially married. So it's all good.
Okay, you guys made a splash, a little bit of a splash in the free agent market yesterday. I'm assuming that you've talked to a couple of your teammates. Pretty exciting. You get such a good player. Do you know Josh previously from the minor leagues with the Astros at all, or did you guys intertwine at all?
So I know he was with us for a little bit, but I never, was ever around him or anything like that. I've never faced him before. Thank God, because I've seen his stuff and he's got some pretty good numbers. So we're happy to have him. Can't wait to really get to know him in spring training when it comes around, and see him out there out on this field this season.
And knock on wood, I mean, you think about it, with the emergence of Abreu now, and of course Presley, you get those three guys, and Hader, you guys get a lead early on. Feels like you guys are going to be able to lock down a lot of those games, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we have a great starting staff, and obviously with the position of Hader, kind of locks up our bullpen a little bit more. So we got a lot of good arms out there to hold up those teams to very low runs. We're gonna have a full season of JD. Hopefully, we're seeing Lansing come back pretty healthy sometime soon. So we got a lot of things to consider.
One thing that's going to be different, and that's the retirement of Michael Brantley, who I know you got really close with in his time here. What did you learn from Michael in particular? I mean, he's always known for his routine and his professionalism and all that, but what did you personally pick up from Michael in your early years?
I mean, everyone at this level is talented. Everyone can play here, but Mike kind of harps on like the little things, kind of like you said, just getting to the routine, taking care of like small things that kind of take a little time and a little effort, but that'll help prolong your career and help you maintain level of success over time. So just like little things like that, and then just the mental approach to going through a full season. Coming out here every day, with y'all screaming out, is just enduring that throughout the full 162 games is it's tough, it's challenging because it takes a lot. But he's as professional as he is, knows how to handle it and everything. So it's just like little things like that that'll help you prolong your career and prolong the success that you have.
About 25 years or 20 years ago, I used to work out in the off seasons here in Houston with Pettit and Roger Clemens quite a bit. And I remember asking Andy, and you guys go to the playoffs every year. It's an extra month every year. How in the world do you recover and get yourself ready for another season every year? And that's all you've known so far. That's all that Bregman's known so far is that extra month compared to everybody else. What have you learned? What your body needs to be able to get through 162 games like you do?
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of success lately to be able to do that every single year. Hopefully we can continue that this year and so forth. But I mean, it is a grind, especially come that time. We play so many games throughout the year. You got to stay healthy, especially towards the end of the season. just got to take care of your body. Get healthy, stretch, enjoy yourself, just continue that. And then just get ready for postseason, just mentally. I mean, it's a different atmosphere in the playoffs instead of the regular season or spring training. So you just got to do your best you can with your health because you're just going to go there.
I know Verlander talks sometimes, he feels like every inning that he pitches in the playoffs is almost like 2 innings in the regular season. What is it like for a position player? Does that atmosphere take more of a toll on your body than a regular season game?
Yeah, I mean, every, kind of like you were saying, every pitch, every out, every runner on base, every run is important. So, I mean, even on defense, you have to lock down every single time. So it's, one run can change the game or the whole series. So, you just got to be locked. Basically, you're locked in from start to finish, which, I mean, you should be either way. But it's just that with the atmosphere and everything, it's just everything's decided at that point in time. So it definitely, like, even though it's a month, it feels like it's, basically the whole season. Like, you're just playing the entire other season. But it's just kind of comes. You just got to make sure you get your rest in the field and make sure you're stretching and everything. So go out there and learn the game.
One of my favorite things as a broadcaster, Kyle, it is you in right field going back on a ball that looks like it's going to be iffy on whether or not it's going to be a home run or not. You've learned to really navigate that area. I would imagine you're starting to learn almost like how many steps I am away from the wall, how high it is. Do you have conversations with some of the fans about staying back or what is it? How have you gotten so good at those in-between balls out there?
I mean, well, y'all do a great job of staying out of the way. I know I sometimes reach in there and I might hit a few people, but there's
Is it fun? Is it fun going back for those?
When I catch it, yeah. when it's a little too far for me, it kind of hurts, but I try to make that very effective place for our pitchers out there. I mean, they work so hard at like stuff you guys don't see, like when we come out here before the games and just in practices and stuff, guys are bullpens. They work so hard out there, and I just try to save their runs as much as possible, keep the games going. So, thanks. So thanks for staying out of the ways for when I try and jump in the stands, but y'all do a great job with that. I just try to do my best.
See a lot of young guys out here, and probably a lot of major league hopeful guys out here that love baseball, come out here to get autographs and things. What did you learn specifically as a pro? Think back to maybe like when you were 12 or 13 years old. What do you know now that might help somebody become a better outfielder about getting jumps or how to play the position?
I mean, a big thing is just knowing the field that you're at. I mean, we played so many different ballparks throughout the season. You just got to know the field. Because, I mean, something like if we're playing at Fenway, I'm not going to play the same depth here because then I got to run 400 feet behind me and pitch ball. So, I mean, you just gotta know your field, and then a lot of it's just practice. Like, whenever we're out here taking BP and stuff, you can take different routes and just try to track stuff down just to kind of practice your jumps and your reads and everything if you're having a ball. So, a lot of it's just practice, which a lot of you guys see, like, in spring, like, we do a lot of the, like, filming stuff in spring training, so you guys can see the practices and maybe, like, some of our, like, BP stuff out here, but a lot of that we take a lot of pride in doing that. So, we do go out there for the game, everything's crisp and clean, and we don't make it clear, everything just kind of runs smooth.
Talk about your practice. When you're taking batting practice at the ballpark, what are you trying to work on to become, I guess, more fundamentally sound each and every day to try to stay closed or stay behind the baseball?
Hitting wise, I do most of my stuff in the cage, but there it's just more like I can work on little things, just kind of staying behind the baseball, staying through the zone as long as possible, and just keeping everything up here towards center field. So that's just kind of stuff I like to do. In more detail, but it'd take a little longer. But
that's a good one. I like what you're saying about staying in center field because that in and of itself keeps your mechanics pretty sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if everything's up the middle of the field, you're staying through the ball and everything, you can throw the ball away, you can hit it to left, you can pull it, it's inside, you can go wherever you want, basically. It's not the directions up the middle, you can make adjustments. So it just makes it a lot easier.
Right, everybody always loves to ask these questions. You go to schools, you go to hospitals and visit kids or whatever. Everybody wants to know who's the toughest pitcher you've ever faced. Does anybody stick out in your mind like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have a chance?
I mean, personally, I don't like to
Say somebody that's retired. That way nobody has an advantage over you.
Yeah, no, I don't want anyone to hate me next time I face him. But I mean, personally, whenever I'm up there, I don't think the pitchers are very good. Even though I know, but that's just like
That's the mindset, right?
Yeah, basically, that's the confidence and mindset you gotta have to go up there, because then, I mean, if you're thinking the guy's nasty, like, you have no chance. But I mean, there are some tough pitchers that you kind of gotta lock in a little bit more than others. But I mean, at this level, everyone's tough to face. But so I don't want to like single anyone out. I mean, it's pretty tough. You gotta lock in pretty much the whole time.
Okay, we got time for a couple more questions. You have a question for Kyle? You have a question?
Who was your idol growing up?
Okay, who was your favorite player growing up? And you can't say me.
All right, so my number two. Honestly, growing up, I always it was probably my brother, Preston. So
You guys remember Preston with the Astros, right?
yeah, he played here for a little bit. But yeah, just growing up, I mean, he's about 6.5 years older than me, so he was always playing at a higher level than me. So I would always watch his high school games, college games, minor league, pro ball games. I was always kind of trying to play at that level. So that kind of made me better, just because I was kind of comparing myself to older guys and trying to compete with them. So, I mean, just for me, that was kind of the guy I just looked up to most, trying to replicate a lot of everything.
It's a great answer. One more question.
When you don't play baseball, what's your favorite video game?
When you don't play baseball, what's your favorite video game you like to play?
I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty right now. So that's kind of what I'm into right now.
All right, that's Kyle Tucker. One of my favorite things about Kyle is every single year he's getting better and better and better. He's made himself into one of the best players in baseball. So the team's lucky to have you, man. Congratulations and best of luck this year.
Thanks for being here, you guys.